Hi, I'm Justin, and today I'll be going over how I put together my own DIY chuck box, also known as a camp kitchen. Hope you enjoy. Like every build, I started off by cutting my pieces down to dimension. I used a bunch of scrap wood that I had laying around. I didn't have to buy any lumber for this project, which was really nice because it was just kind of a little side project. What you see me working on here is one of the side panels. I am doing dados to fit the shelves so that I don't have to use any screws or nails. I can just slide the shelves together and make it a tight fit, secured together with wood glue. I don't currently have a dado stack. You could use that. I just do short passes and move it over 1/8 of an inch the fence so that I get the correct thickness of dado. If you can't do it on a table saw, you can also do it with a 1/2 inch router bit. So that's what I'm doing here. The overall dimensions of the box are 24 by 24 by 18. So it's pretty much a big square with an 18-inch depth with the doors put on. I secured the interior of the boxes with pocket screws. You can't see these from the outside. And a little bit of wood glue, keep it all together. I am using 1/2 inch material all around to try to keep the weight down on the box, and to do that with pocket screws I used 1-inch pocket screws, but I set the depth of my Craig jig to 5/8 inch material so that the pocket screw wouldn't protrude all the way through the other side of the lumber. This kept it right on the inside so it didn't poke out. For the sides and the shelves, I'm using 1/2 inch birch plywood unfinished so that I can stain it down the road. And for the top and bottom pieces, I did have some pre-finished 1/2 inch left over from my camper build that I used for that, just to keep it a little bit nicer and a little bit more durable for the surfaces that I'm gonna have the stove on and stuff like that. It worked out really nice, and the color ended up matching the camper perfectly. So I'm really happy with the end result. With the 1/2 inch dados, it does make a really strong, tight fit, and with a little bit of wood glue, this box should be really secure once it's all put together. To get the measurements for all of my shelves, what I did was I measured all of the camping gear that I currently use for my camp kitchen, and I built it based on that. So it would perfectly fit my camp stove, my coffee pots, our dishes, and all of our cooking gear that we have and take with us when we go camping. I use my X-Carve to do a little design for the front doors. I found this image on Google. It's just a little drawing of like a campground with some mountains in the background, trees, and a tent. I just thought it was cool, and I wanted to add a little bit of flair to the front of the camp kitchen, make it a little unique. So I cut a piece that was perfectly sized to fit the front for both doors, and then I had the X-Carve cut that out, and then to make the doors even, I split it down the middle on the table saw so that the image was exactly the same and met up when the doors were closed. To put the doors together, I did just use those panels that you saw me just make, and I did some sidewalls out of more 1/2 inch material and glued them all together and set them with a few pin nails to hold it together, so I wouldn't have to fill those later. They're real small, 23 gauge, so you don't really see them when the finish is all done. I use piano hinges to hold the doors onto the body of the camp kitchen, as well as for the tabletop surface on the top. They can fold all the way up, and it's a nice discreet hinge that's very strong. Installation of these hinges can be a little tricky, but I had my wife's help to hold it in place while I screwed in the piano hinges on the body of the cabinet. For the folding top, I just made the same dimension as the top piece that I installed on the body of cabinet earlier, and then cut that down the middle so that each side can fold out evenly, and they are supported by the front doors of the box when they're opened up. Next was working on the legs. So this will bring the cabinet up to 36 inches, which is average counter height. The legs are also made out of 1/2-inch plywood. I took off quite a bit of material trying to reduce the weight of this cabinet best I could, but they are very strong once it's all together. I had to do these cuts with a jigsaw so that I can get the cool angles that you see here. Like with the doors, I use glue and pin nails to hold it all together. This is the main legs. I'm also going to be doing an interior frame that will act as the shelf that'll hold the whole cabinet up, and that will be secured with pocket screws, and that will really give the whole bottom piece its strength with glue and pocket screws all together. I wanted this shelf to sit just above 1/2 inch above the top of the legs so that the cabinet would have a good secure spot to rest and it would lock in place when it's set on top. And to do this, I propped the leg portion up with popsicle sticks. They're about 1/8 of an inch thick, and then I put 1/2 inch material under the portion that I'm screwing in, the flat piece, and that gave me about 3/8 of a pocket for the cabinet to sit in, just enough for the doors to be able to open when it's in there and secure. It's not going to slide off of the legs. And for the finish on the cabinet, I did use Varathane Early American stain. This is the same stain that I use on the exterior of the camper. I thought it would look nice if they matched. Then after that, I used a triple thick water-based polyurethane on the exterior and the shelves of the box to keep it nice and safe. It's not something that's going to sit out in the rain. I will have a canopy over it when we go camping, just for a little bit of protection and for easier cleanup. I covered it in the polyurethane to keep it from getting too much wear and tear. And here you see the finished product. Once it was all done, the legs slide over the top to keep the box locked together for travel. And then for assembly and setup, it does go pretty quick. You just pop the legs down and then you set the cabinet on top. It is pretty heavy, so I would recommend using 2 people when it's fully loaded. I tried to keep it as light as possible, but I didn't make this for backpacking. This is for car camping, so you're not going to be carrying it all over the place. The setup goes up pretty easy. All you have to do is unlock the cabinet, open up those doors, and flip out the top table. Something that I didn't show during the build process was me making this external utility shelf that can be used for spices, cooking utensils while you're cooking, as well as holding the lanterns up so that you have some light at night. They're just made out of 3/4 inch PVC pipe that I painted black, and they have a nice little utility shelf that floats right above the top of the camp stove. I plan to use this for maybe like a paper towel holder to hold the utensils while you're cooking, spices on the shelf while you're cooking, maybe a beer, who knows, and to hold my lantern so that I have some light when cooking. I think it'll be really nice, but I'll let you know. Like I said, I plan to make another video and give a full tour of what I have in my camp kitchen, but I'd like to get out there and use it first. So I will be going on a trip in a couple of weeks, excited to use it and see if there's any changes I would make, how it works out, and I'll go over that with you in a different video. Feel free to leave any of your questions in the comments below. If you like my video, want to see more, please subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends, and I'll see you on the next one.